don't have a revelation, understanding of kingdom order, we will miss the transformation and realignment taking place in the body of Christ right now.
Hey, welcome again, Kingdom Code Broadcast. We're back again, coming to you from Manatí, Puerto Rico, here in the northern part of the island. I'm on vacation with my family and wanted to just greet you from here and let you enjoy this environment. I recorded a previous broadcast. That's actually part one of this entire broadcast. This is part two. And but we're recording here on a different day. Still beautiful, still amazing. It's incredible here. We're having a great time. But thank you guys for listening on Kingdom First TV Network. All of you podcast listeners, thank you once again for listening to us, supporting us. And I just wanted to come to you just for a few moments this morning. As here where I'm at, I'm surrounded by palm trees, the Caribbean Ocean. You might be able to hear the waves and just an incredible surrounding and atmosphere as I taught on the previous part one of this. And I wanted to hone in on something that I was really wanting to touch on a couple broadcasts ago when we were talking about John chapter 1, verse 47, 48, when Jesus was approaching Nathanael, and he tells him that he saw him sitting under a fig tree. The fig tree we mentioned has a lot of biblical significance, a lot of spiritual significance. It was a place where most people had in their private property a fig tree. And that was a place of prayer. That was a place of intercession, meditation on the scriptures. And you would often find people sitting under a fig tree, and they can grow as large as 30 feet high, depending on certain environment, even up to 50 feet tall. And so sitting under a fig tree had a lot of symbolic representation, significance, and it was just a special place. It was a place of safety. It was a place of security. It was a place of intimacy in prayer. And so very significant to sit under a fig tree and what that meant. And so when Jesus saw Nathanael sitting under a fig tree, we talked about how there was a good chance, there's like some mosquitoes, and we're in the wild here, we're in the jungle, so that you may see some things flying on the screen. But Jesus saw him sitting under that place, the fig tree, and it had significance. And so I really even believe that he may have even heard, we talked about how he discerned by his spirit, Jesus did, what Nathanael was maybe praying about, meditating about, requesting, seeking, desiring, wrestling with, all those different things. So I wanted to just kind of touch base a little bit about what is this fig tree? What else with the fig tree do we learn? Do we understand? And so I did some research, and the figs itself have incredible symbolism, representation. So a fig fruit is actually, technically, scientifically, not even a fruit. It is a flower, because a fig tree does not bring forth leaves before the fruit. Most trees, fruit trees, the leaves will come out, then they'll flower, and then the fruit will come from that flower. The fig tree, the actual fruit bears forth from the tree limb. There's no leaves. The flowering of a fig fruit is inside. It is within the fig itself, the fruit itself. And for all intents and purposes, I'm going to say that the fig is a fruit. But listen to this. So the flowering takes place on the inside. So the seeds represent multiplication, harvest, the potential for greater growth, pollination. All of that is within. Listen to this. All of that is within the fruit itself. It's not on the leaves, it's not on the tree branch, it is within the fruit itself. So how does a fig tree with the fig fruit having all of its potential pollination, harvest, pollination, all those different things, how does it grow? How does it expand when all of that is within itself? Remember, we're talking about a tree that represents prayer and intercession and meditation. So there are two types of fig trees. A fig tree that is edible with edible figs, and another fig tree that is strictly for pollination or repollination. So there are specific wasps, a specific wasp that's called a fig wasp. The fig wasp is the only wasp that can go into, just like bees will pollinate flowers and that type of thing. Well, this wasp is created and designed only for the fig fruit. So what this queen wasp will do in this pollinating tree of figs is the queen wasp actually goes into, there's a certain, like where the stem would be of any fruit, the queen wasp will go into that fig fruit to go where the flowering is, the seeds, to try to start the pollination process. But listen to this. What the queen wasp, when they enter that fig fruit, they have this instinct to do this. They lose their antennas, they lose their wings, a lot of their body, their anatomy is lost in the process of entering in the center of that fruit. Once they do that, there's no way out of that fruit. They're going in on a mission as the knowing they're going to die within this fruit. Now listen to me. You want to talk about significant symbolism of prayer and intercession. The queen wasp goes into that fig fruit knowing I'm never coming out. I'm losing my antennas, my wings, certain parts of my body, because it's so tight to get into this fruit. But she is determined to get to the center of that fruit where the flowering is, to be able to do a couple things. She lays eggs in the center of that fruit, and those wasps, they take the pollination, the seeds. Or I should say, there's male and female. The female wasps that were given birth to, they're the ones who take the pollination, and they are the only ones who are able to leave the fruit and repollinate the fig. They're the only ones. The queen dies, all the other wasps that were given birth, they all die in this fruit. But what they do is they make way for the young female wasp to take that pollination out of the fruit. So what does this all have to do with prayer? In Romans 12, 1 and 2, specifically chapter 1, it says, present yourselves a living sacrifice. A living sacrifice. And I thought about this process of the wasp, that she gives up her life for pollination. She gives up her life in a place where the only thing she can do is give birth to a future, right? We're talking about prayer. Give birth to a future that she'll never see. But she's taking place in this fruit to give up her life, lay those eggs, and let the next generation repopulate for more fruit and harvest for the future. And you want to talk about connection and intercessory and prayer. Oftentimes we come to prayer incorrectly, asking, wanting things. And I want to point this out. The reason why I'm doing this recording is I want to point this out for us to understand that true intercession is about coming and laying everything down. It's not about us. Is it about the future? Is about others? Absolutely. But more importantly, it's about him. So there was a DNA inside that queen wasp. I was telling her, this is where you need to come and go and give your life and bring forth, give birth to a future, give birth to a harvest that you won't see it, but it's promised. It's promised to your kind. It's promised to your people, to your harvest. It's promised. And so I just wanted to just share that little tidbit. There's a lot more about this that I'm still researching, and I'm still just getting greater revelation on this. But I just want to just let you see that analogy of the fig and the pollination process of the fig, that it is a sacrificial example that speaks of prayer and intercession, to lose your identity in the process and give birth in prayer to prayers that you may never see answered, to intercession that you may never see answered, to requests that you may never see answered, but they will be in the next generation. They will be. So don't worry about, asking, getting something. The focus is, I am coming here to leave something, a sacrifice of praise, presenting myself as a sacrifice of praise. And so I pray that that blesses you. I pray that you can go in and research this a little bit more. But the fig tree has really changed my perspective of the fig tree, the symbolism, the representation, the revelation behind this is really powerful. And so I pray that you continue to go on. This is part 2 of our broadcast for this place. So I'm leaving today from this beautiful island of Puerto Rico. I've had a great time, wonderful time. I am looking to come back again, and I'm excited to come back again. So I pray that you are blessed by the word that's come forth, part 1 and part 2 of this, and that you have a great time. We're going to come back to Dallas, Texas, and continue on recording from there as we will look at Jesus entering another part of his mission, his assignment. So God bless you guys. Thank you once again, and we'll talk to you soon.